Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Doing an updated video for NBA. Just a quick rundown of the new core. We got news that Scotty Barnes is doubtful, and that completely changes the slate because we don't have a lot of great price tags on some of these players. We're waiting on some news to drop, and we got one early with Toronto. So even though the matchup is ugly against the Knicks, you're probably going to get to at least a couple of pieces from Toronto because they're just very low on bodies already without Siakam, and now also taking out Scotty Barnes. That front court, you're going to get a lot of minutes for some cheap players in that front court. Even it's going to benefit some of the bench players as well. So we'll talk about it. Let's get into it. Hit the like button, subscribe if you enjoy the videos. Price picks, updated the board, and right now they have Scotty Barnes in, so you can capitalize on getting some. At least a couple of these props are pretty low because they still have Scotty Barnes in here. I would take the over on OG Anunoby's rebounding. I love that prop right now. There's a chance that he slides into the 4 and they start like Svi Mikhailuk at the 3. And Scotty Barnes was averaging like 9 plus rebounds a game. OG already does give you good rebounds for his price tag. And just for, he's averaging 5.6 on the season already. 5, 5, 3, 8, 4, 4, 10. Scotty Barnes, on the other hand, he was averaging a little bit more, but that's because he was playing a little bit more power forward. He was averaging 8.9. Take him out. Definitely love OG Anunoby's rebounding prop. Take the over on that. I like the over on his fantasy score as well. It's 33 right now. I expect close to a double-double, if not a double-double out of him. He can also get you a lot of defensive stats with the steals and the blocks, which really helps. And then I'll take the over on Chris Boucher's fantasy score as well. It's 20.5 right now. He's going to get more minutes today in place of Scotty Barnes. If he starts, then definitely want to just jam him into all your lineups. But even if it comes off the bench, should be looking at least 20 minutes. Upside is there to play high 20s if he's playing really well. And good chance he could close because this Knicks team is big as well. Even though they might want to play OG at the 4 to start, if it doesn't work well, I could see them going to Chris Boucher there because they have Julius Randle there and Mitchell Robinson, two big guys. Maybe if Nerlens Noel plays, you have another big guy out there for the Knicks. But going back to DraftKings here, I'm still loving just getting to, now with some of the value on Toronto, I still like myself getting to Nikola Jokic at the center position. And now I can run it back with John Morant at the point guard position. It was tough to do this morning, but now we got the value, so it's easy to do that. At the shooting guard spot, I can plug in Gary Trent at 48, who should get maybe a little bit extra run, but more extra usage for just everybody else, because Scotty Barnes was taking a good amount of usage. He was super productive, and he was playing big minutes, so I wouldn't be surprised if Gary Trent approaches 36 to like 38 minutes tonight if this game does stay somehow close. And then Chris Boucher is only 4K. We're getting the cheapest price tag for Boucher this year when he has the best opportunity to produce. I will be all over that. He was $6,500 to start the year. Hasn't really been getting a ton of playing time, but that should change tonight without Scotty Barnes. Hopefully Nick Nurse does give Boucher some extra run because we all know what he can do when he's given at least like 20 to 25 minutes. Even less minutes we saw him be productive, but at 4K without Scotty Barnes, definitely like myself getting to Chris Boucher. Still plug in Steven Adams at the utility spot. Just expecting to play similar minutes to Nikola Jokic. Just a spot where they definitely don't want to play Jaren Jackson. Against Jokic, he'd foul out in 5 minutes. And they don't want to play any other bench like Brandon Clark can't keep up with him. You're not going to get anything out of like Tilly. So Steven Adams is their best option to slow down Jokic. I don't think he'll do a good job of it. Just because Jokic can... It's just almost impossible to guard. Especially for a guy that doesn't stretch the floor like Adams. He will just be able to camp out by the 3-point line, make him some passes, get some putbacks. But either way, I like getting to both centers in this one because Adams, even if he doesn't do a good job of stopping Jokic, he should still get a lot of minutes. And the price tag on him is down at just 49. And I think maybe the public will be down on him as well, just with looking at the box scores. And then I can plug in like DeAnthony Melton here if I wanted to do that as well. I still like him at 57. Leaves you with over 5K left for the other two spots. With Melton at 57. Get another piece of the Grizzlies if you wanted to do that. He's been pretty consistent this year. Plays good minutes in close games, which I do think this will be close. And the price tag isn't overly high. It is the highest he's been, but been deservingly so. He's been underpriced the whole year. It's going with like these 6 as a bit of an updated look For DraftKings, let's touch on Fanduel. So Fanduel's only a couple of slight changes to the core plays. I still like Lillard at 83. It's still just too cheap. Should never be $8,300. I know he's been awful so far this year, fantasy perspective, just not been able to buy a bucket. But it's got to change at some point. He's not going to continue to shoot, sub 25% from three. Last game he just shot 5 of 20. So there's better shooting days ahead for Damian Lillard. D'Anthony Melton, I still like him at 6,000 just for the shooting guard getting good mid-range play. A guy that has been really good with the defensive stats. So if that continues tonight, especially on FanDuel where you get those extra points for those. And he just plays big minutes, takes a good amount of shots, and has been pretty steady, except for one game where he shot 0 of 8. I think I can get up to OG Anunoby now at small forward. He can play him at shooting guard as well, so he'll be pretty easy to get to. Good price tag for another guy that will get a big bump today in terms of his usage, getting more shots off, getting more rebounding opportunities if he slides over to the 4. And he's going to play an absolute ton of minutes. Wouldn't be surprised if he plays 40 minutes tonight. I like Chris Boucher, 45. I'll play him on both sides today. I think he's has a chance to have a big game, and if he comes off the bench, people might, he might be a little bit under owned, but I think there's a chance he could close, like I mentioned, and wouldn't be surprised if he tops 25 minutes today or gets close to that. I still like Steven Adams at 61. Everybody's probably going to go to Clint Capella in that range. You can take a shot on Steven Adams, a guy that could play more minutes than Capella. Like Capella hasn't topped 30 minutes yet, whereas Adams, this body, could play like 35 plus. And sometimes, there's so many players on the Hawks that it could be Capella, but it also could be Cons. It could be Trae Young. It could be one of those bench pieces, Gallo or Herter, who hasn't been playing much. But they just have so many bodies, whereas Memphis, pretty thin in terms of who's going to produce. So that's it. Just a quick 7-minute update video for this NBA slate tonight. Thank you for watching. Best of luck today, and I'll see you all next time.